There's something wrong with the clutch switch. The bike is in neutral now and it starts in neutral. Kickstand is off, bike rolling freely. Turn it on, hit the starter. You know that it starts. I put it in gear, thereabouts. Kickstand is up again, pull this clutch. Nothing, it should start. Put it back in neutral, release clutch, it starts again. Something's wrong with the clutch switch. It's a safety feature. The bike should start in gear when the clutch lever is pulled. So I need to take apart the clutch switch, see what's wrong. This is a clutch switch from a motorcycle. I took out 2 screws there and it comes out of the bike. I also unclipped it. You can see that these claws kind of engage and want to there and do there, so we can take a look what's inside. This wasn't working all too well. It was not making very good contact. What I found is that those contact surfaces were all dirty and greasy, which were insulating, and it should be conducting and not insulating. When the switch is assembled in about that position, at the end you can see where the electrical connector plugs in. You can see those copper things, and that's what's on the inside of this switch. And I took out this spring because I didn't want to lose it, but you can imagine the spring going from that bump on the plastic to that one there and being compressed there. Just don't want to lose it. And in operation, this switch, the clutch lever, let me see, this is how it sits on your bike, and your clutch lever, there's a pedal on it at the front here. That pedal on the front pushes this part in, and when it does so, two of these copper contact surfaces, that one and that one, are closed, and electricity flows through one in one, out the other. So that's what the circuitry is, and you only need 2 of those bumps. When the clutch lever is pulled in, the pedal gets further away from this push button here, and then it slides out with the spring power that's between those 2 bumps on the plastic. And in that situation, the connection is between that piece there and that piece there. That's how it works. And if the connection is between that piece and that piece, then electricity should flow through this one and this one here. So that's how this circuitry works. If you find that yours is glitchy, my original problem was that the motorcycle would only start in neutral, kickstand up. It should start in gear, kickstand up again, with clutch lever pulled in. So this one extended. Yeah, mine wasn't doing that. I cleaned it up, I'll put it together, hope it works. I put the clutch switch back on, and this is how it looks like when it's mounted. This is the underside there. You recognize this shape, the switch. I just plug the wire into it. It takes only that much to disconnect it, and it's mounted by these 2 screws here. When the clutch switch is in operation, you can see parts of the spring through those weep holes or drain holes moving there, and you can see the push button on the clutch switch extending and retracting, and it is operated by this pedal on the clutch. So what I found is when this clutch switch is mounted back here, the bike does not start in gear. When it's taken off and it's just attached to the connector here, it starts. When I put it back in position, bike doesn't start in gear. Take it off again, just leave it dangling at the end of the wire, it does start in gear. Put it back on, it doesn't start. So this is what I figured out. I'm gonna show you. I'll just I'll just take the switch off again. I have the switch in my hand. I'm gonna install it back onto the wiring harness. Here is the connector for the harness, and they go together just like that. Just give me a sec here. I want a nice solid contact, just like that. Okay, in this position where the push button is fully extended, when the bike is in gear, as it is now, it starts again. If I put it in neutral, push it in, starts as it should. Push button extended, there, push button extended, which is equivalent to clutch being pulled, starts again. So this is what I figured about the spiritual life of this switch. Just gonna get a good angle on it so you can see the spring there. If this clutch switch is just 1 millimeter pushed in, just 1 millimeter, I'm getting there, just 1 millimeter pushed in, you can see the parts of the switch moving through. I'm hitting the button here, nothing, doesn't start. I let it go, you can see it starts. Get back in the frame. If this push button is not fully extended, is held in by the clutch lever just 0.5 millimeter or 1 millimeter, just like that much, it doesn't start. If it's fully extended, it starts again. Look at the amount of contact that makes a difference there. That 1 millimeter doesn't work, works. Doesn't work, works. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a little file and file away about 1.5 millimeters from the end of this one. That way the pedal, this pedal on the underside of the clutch lever is gonna allow the push button on the switch to fully extend, even when I'm 2-finger shifting. When I'm 2-finger shifting, remember, the pedal only moves away a certain amount less than if I push the lever all the way to the handlebar. So I'm gonna file away just about 1 millimeter, that's 1/16 of an inch or something like that, and see how that works. It should improve it. It should work. Here is my new and improved clutch switch. You can see I hand filed some of the push button away, and then I created a bevel on it with a file. I'm gonna go ahead and install it, and let's see what we did. Alrighty, I've made significant improvements here. The bike now is in gear, and if I pull the lever all the way in, it starts. If I just 2-finger shift, it doesn't. If I pull on a little more, it starts now. Let's see, where does it? Good there, not so good there. Doesn't work there or there. It does work there. So I got a little more filing to do. You get the idea. I say I'm pretty close to being done. And I think I'm in the final stage here. Bike is in gear, kickstand up. See, it starts here, about yay far, the clutch being yay far away from the handlebar. There, if I let it extend at the clutch switch a little longer, it doesn't start. If I pull it in a little bit, there, it starts there, doesn't start there, starts there, doesn't start there. But I know that it starts there. If I grab a handful, it still doesn't work for 2-finger shifting, but it does work if I really pull it in, like so. So that's safe enough, and I think within all normality, you would expect the manufacturer to figure out the exact length of the clutch switch. Maybe it only affects some of these models with my VIN number on it. I don't know, but you shouldn't be doing this switch fabrication on your own with all normality, you know. So, but basically, that's how you can make a bad situation somewhat better.